Alrighty, today we have David Gilmour, Comfortably Numb, live in Pompeii 2016. This is Pardon My Reaction.
What's up, everybody? Today we're doing a live video reaction, Pink Floyd, but really David Gilmour.
David Gilmour.
I mean, doing a Pink Floyd song.
Yep.
Comfortably Numb, which is one of my favorites.
Big hit.
But I've never seen this live performance of it. I've always just listened to the song.
That's why I wanted to do it, because I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, huge David Gilmour fan. Roger Waters, sure, but David Gilmour is like, yeah, I love me some David Gilmour, dude. Yeah. But regardless, I was gonna do the Pulse one with you, which is a great one. But I figured, this one's got more views. It's a little bit cleaner. It's not been remastered. It's a little newer. So we'll go with this one. But this is a fantastic performance. I wanted you to see it because we just did a heavy song. We got our blood flowing, and now I want to get spiritual on this shit. I want to feel the heavens open up. That's how I always feel about their music. Like they do something to me.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love Pink Floyd? I mean, I'm not as invested of a fan as Pink Floyd as you are.
Sure.
But I grew up on it. My dad listened to it all the time. But I've always only listened to it. I've never actually seen anything from them. I've never like went and like, I want to watch a live Pink Floyd.
Dude, I throw this shit on and it just makes me happy, dude. It's just like great music. Like, when you're just like breaking down music as a whole, not genres out, like I just feel like Pink Floyd and what David Gilmour does, even Roger Waters, what they do and what they did as a band was like just so ahead of its time, and there is no one else like them on earth. And I don't think there ever will be, honestly.
There is no one that is like Pink Floyd.
No. And so as far as the greatest bands of all time, I definitely think that Pink Floyd is the greatest band of all time. That's my opinion. And I don't know that will ever change.
All right.
I just don't see it. But anyways, let's get this rolling, man. David Gilmour, Comfortably Numb, live in Pompeii 2016.
Let's do it.
David, I love you. It's cool it's in Pompeii, too. That's the old CD.
Is there anybody in there?
So that's usually Roger Waters.
Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now. I hear you feeling.
I would love to see these guys. It's the one band.
Yeah.
I'd pay anything.
Get you on your feet again. Relax. I need some information first.
Smoke a little weed right now, dude.
I know, right?
Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain you are receiving. The distant ship smoke on the horizon.
He just such a unique voice, dude.
You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying.
Whoever got front row in this show, fuck them. I want it.
That part always gave me chills.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to this. And as soon as it just, everything lifts up.
Felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you will not understand. This is not how I am.
I just got it again.
Have become comfortably numb.
Just that transition.
I know.
He's so it's perfect. It's perfect. Ooh, I like this right. This is such an intimate show too. That the way they did this. It's such a small crowd.
I do believe it's working good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain you are receiving.
I love how they did the lighting and the stuff too. Like it comes up very like ambient, and then as they hit those high points, it just gets brighter and it's just.
And you're in this old ancient stadium.
Yeah.
It just adds. Dude, he's so stoked. Look at that drummer. It's like, I'm so happy to be here right now. So first of all, he has amazing musicians playing with him.
Oh yeah,
and he's obviously a lot older. Pink Floyd's been around for a very long time. Some of these guys, the drummer specifically, because they showed his face there a second ago, obviously a lot younger than David Gilmour.
Yeah,
and I mean, can you imagine growing up with Pink Floyd and just they had to have been an inspiration for a lot of people. And you're on stage with this man now.
Oh, I know.
Like, is there anything greater than that?
Yeah, like in that moment when you're playing. And then all of a sudden, like when you're doing something that you love, and like you have a certain moment where you kind of
sit back,
not like you're focused on what you're doing, but then there's always that moment where you're just kind of like, oh, you can come back to like realization, and you're like, oh, I'm here doing this. You're not as focused. You kind of lose focus for a second, but it's not like you're losing your rhythm or anything. You're just kind of like absorbing everything around you. I feel like that was a moment for him.
Yeah.
Like he's just sitting there playing, and then he looked up, and all of a sudden, like, oh my God,
it was a great shot. It was a great shot where he was just smiling and like shaking his head like, man, I can't believe it. Because you're on stage with one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if not the greatest band of all time, but David Gilmour, I still think is, and he's not even underrated, but like as a guitar player, a vocalist, I think that like he has such a unique sound that is unmatched by anyone.
Yeah.
You know, like, is he as fancy as others? No, but like David Gilmour's guitar to me, his tone and the way he plays is, I could pick that out of anybody playing just based off his guitar.
Yeah.
He just has such a style to it. But I know that you haven't listened to the live stuff. That's why I want to stop right here. The original song has a great lead guitar.
Mm-hmm.
The live versions are extended. And they're arguably, a lot of people will tell you that they're possibly one of the greatest guitar solos of all time, like the extended version. So I just wanted to get your take on that. Okay. But this is beautiful, man. Like, and I've seen this so many times I can't count, but this will never not get old. I mean, like this to me just will never be old.
Yeah, this is one of those things where regardless of how many times you've heard the song, you can't not watch it and not have a smile on your face.
It's so good, dude. All right, let's get going. This should be coming into the solo part here soon. It's like 4 minutes long, 5 minutes long. The whole band's watching him.
Yeah.
It's fucking talking to you. He's literally talking to you through his guitar.
Cool, they have that whole ring of lights and they're all just on him.
So big.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know, I'm goosebumping like a motherfucker. Oh. Yeah, no shit. I just... There's nobody better than that.
Thinking about going...
Yeah, I'll say this, man. I'm a huge fan. You know this. Big time fan. Grew up with them. Listen to them still at least a couple times a week, man. Like, they're always on the list, especially drives and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they are... Listen, everybody has their own style, and, you know, some would argue, like, Led Zeppelin's the greatest, or, you know, whoever. You name it. There's a lot of options there. But those guys are like heaven to me. Like, I feel like when I die, hopefully a long time from now, but, like, that's what I'm going to hear, like, going into the fucking gates. Like, that's how like, big it is to me. And, like, you know, it's like...
The Pearly Gates is a Pink Floyd solo.
Yeah, you know, it's like... you know, God can't be everywhere. Like, he can be. Like, he can talk to anybody. But I feel like he would come down to see that show. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you look at, like, what human beings can create that's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you see that amazing art, you know, in the cathedrals, or you see these amazing statues and, like, these creative things that humans create. Like, tell me what's better than that. Like, that is the epitome of, like, what we're capable of. And that's so much more than just verse, chorus, you know, end it. Like, let's get done. Let's get the shit on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, he speaks to your soul, like, through his music. And it's just, like, to me, it's just, it's crazy.
It definitely brings you to a whole different place.
It does. It does, man.
It makes you, like, there aren't many bands that play, and while you're playing, you're completely... immersed in everything that's going on right in front of you, and there's nothing else around anymore, and you're just feeling every single note they play. There's very few bands that can make you do that.
You're right. And in a day of, like, throwaway music where it's just like, you know, just get as much out as possible and try to get on the radio and hope that you make it big for a couple months. You know, that's why I just don't know that there'll ever be another one like it. And there'll be bands that will be equally big, who are equally talented at some point. But, like, as far as, like, Pink Floyd's legacy, like, I just never could see somebody passing it.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of how amazing that next band is, that longevity of the next band, whoever that is, I don't think that there'll ever be another band like this, because they are just as popular now as they were in the 70s, arguably more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's definitely, even now, like, with the newer generations and stuff, there's even a resurgence in this style of music.
Yeah.
And you know, people going back and rediscovering Pink Floyd for the first time that have never grew up with it.
Yeah. And my dad saw him in 73. Like, you know, you're talking Dark Side of the Moon shit era. And, you know, he was saying, he's like, you know, back then people they thought they were just like a stoner band. Like, they were popular, but like, they were so ahead of their time that I think it took a while for people to really start grasping.
A couple
like,
decades before everyone.
Yeah,
was
because
like,
if you listen to the era appropriate music with Pink Floyd, they just have a sound that no one else was doing and a clarity to it all that no one else was doing.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, it's just, I could talk for hours on these guys. I love them. And I'm glad you got to see that because I just feel like they're another one of those bands that like they're amazing on vinyl, amazing on record, but live, I would give almost anything to see them live.
Oh yeah, if you had an opportunity to go see
David
live,
Gilmour,
that's
even
one thing you don't say no to.
Yeah, Roger Waters, it still tours, and my brother just went and saw him. I'm not as big into Roger Waters, to be completely honest with you, but David Gilmour is a must see, and I really wish they could work out their differences and do one more show before they are too old to do it, because I feel like that would be the largest concert of all time right there.
Oh
tour.
yeah.
So yeah, man, super stoked. David Gilmour, Comfortably Numb, one of the best songs that they've ever written, but yeah, I love it. I don't know what else to say.
Hands down.
It's beautiful.
Cool.